And starting to the top right of the map, here on Merry-Go-Round, our 3-player map, we have in game number 8 of the Acer TeamStory Cup match between Acer and Millenium, the 4th Millenium player. It is Dayshi, and Dayshi in blue is going up against a Terran opponent in another TvT series here today. Starting all the way to the bottom of the map, we currently see Innovation, the last man standing for his team, the ace player. He defeated Baby Knight after the Protoss player took down MMA in the game before. So well played so far by Innovation, but can he win 2 additional games? Keep in mind that if Dayshi loses here, we will also see the ace player of Millenium starting to make an appearance, and I would be very surprised if it would be anybody else than 4GG, because 4GG is currently 9-1 in the Acer TeamStory Cup during this season. Innovation, pretty strong player himself, but he already lost a couple of games. So we're gonna find out if Innovation for now can take down Dayshi, who's going into an early gas here, the same that we see for his opponent. Gas before barracks for both of them, and I am very interested to see what exactly is gonna happen in this particular game right now. We had a couple of Terran versus Terrans already, and I really like the aggression that we see in most of them. We're gonna see Banshees again, for example, with the early gas here. Certainly a big option. We could also instead just see one of the players going to a Raven. We've seen a couple of one-base pushers being played by players like Hard. There are so many options that you have in a Terran versus Terran. It's really one of the best mirror matchups in my opinion right now. To be actually absolutely honest with you, I think it's by far the best mirror matchup that we have. The second best would kind of be Protoss versus Protoss if they are not going for Colossi. Because let's face it for a second, like, who likes laser beam wars? Like, nobody likes that. Players sitting around for 20 minutes and then just like the game ending in one engagement that lasts like 5 seconds. That's not really what people want to see. Zerg versus Zerg is pretty decent, but we sometimes just have these roach pushes like going all crazy, and then yeah. I think ZVZ and PvP are pretty much the same. There are very amazing games that you can have with that, but there can also be very boring games with the same style. So that's basically one of the problems there. With Terran versus Terran, on the other hand, you don't see that siege tank hopping anymore that we had in Wings of Liberty. So things are pretty awesome right now when it comes to the mirror match tactics in this matchup. And well, we have also a little bit of a deviation going on with Innovation taking the second gas here. It's most likely going to be the Banshee build for him. And for his opponent, what we currently have to the top right is still no second refinery. So it's more and more unlikely that Dayshi is going for Banshees. Instead, it's more likely that we're going to see a Medivac and then maybe a little bit of drop play by him, trying to maybe sneak his Hellions in his opponent's main base, or just having a bit of a Marine drop there. Looks like it's going to be an Engineer. No, Supply Depot for now. Alright. He of course has to think about the possibility that there could be a Banshee opening, because the one thing that he saw earlier is actually, well, thinking about it, he saw nothing. So in terms of scouting information, both of them actually have absolutely no clue what's going on. They don't even know the starting positions, and Dayshi is the first one to change that with a Hellion that is now trying to sneak in, has a look over here and was like, well, that was the wrong position immediately. It's a 3-player map. The only 3-player map that we currently have in the pool, and one of the few that we ever had in this game. So that's going to be a bit interesting to see how it's going to, yeah, just resonate with the players over time. There's also the Medivac that we talked about a little bit earlier, and the units are just waiting, especially the Marines here. So let's see how he's going to deal with that, whereas Cloak is being researched for Innovation. And Innovation is getting that scout out that he was hoping for with the SCV straight to the top right, finding out where his opponent spawns, so that that Banshee that is about to be completed can immediately move in. And here come the Hellions. Hellions for now just shutting the CV down, but you saw already that there is no command center on the low ground just yet. We have the Medivac moving in, and he's probably going to meet that Banshee very soon. So then he knows what's up, and the same is of course true for Innovation. So both of them like, Innovation turning around with a Banshee here. Well, yeah, I'm not quite sure about that, Dayshi. Like, what? Alright, he hates Marines. Dayshi hates Marines, it is confirmed, you heard it here first. Like, he just leaves them to die. Those Marines had, like, no chance whatsoever. That's basically throwing them out of the Medivac without a parachute. That was pretty heartless by him. I really don't like what he did there. And he's losing another unit. Yeah, one Hellion. So, Dayshi apparently just looking at his units and is like, I hate you all, die. And, well, they did. So now it's time for the Banshee of Innovation to show that at least he's able, or she's able, to do a bit of damage there. The SCVs are already dying. It's 4 of them so far. Killing another one here. That is not really a good start for Dayshi. Far from it. Well, he has a Viking moving in right now, but that Banshee found the sweet spot. At least in the vision range, but this is 11 kills. That's 12 kills right there. 13, like, what? Gets 13 kills, and we have a little bit of damage down at the bottom, but I don't even want to go for the resource loss tab. Like, what did Dayshi actually kill? And the answer is like 3 SCVs, 1 Banshee, and 9 Marines in the end. But he lost way more, like twice as much nearly. 12 Harvesters, and there's even a second Banshee moving in right now. So he was dropping down at the bottom a little bit, but the big story was really the Banshee up here. Not this one, but the one that died, the hero. So Command Center has now started for Innovation. Dayshi needs one too. He's far behind. Let's look at the Harvester count for a second. 15 to 28, like, oh boy. This is not pretty. Quick snipe on the SCV over here with the Medivac, but if that Viking gets even close, yeah, and he will. Bye-bye Medivac, and he's gonna lose the units in there as well, doesn't he? Yes, he does. Oh my god. Yeah, Dayshi is getting manhandled here right now. That was not the start that he envisioned when he started that gas first. Not at all. He builds his own command center now, of course, but still, he's so far behind. He doesn't even see the taillights of Innovation any longer. 27 against 18, the faster command center down here. Of course, in terms of army supply, Innovation is also having a pretty good position there. Moving cross map now with what he has, and that's also 2 siege tanks that are there. 3 siege tanks by now. 3 siege tanks against 0. Let's have a quick look at the upgrades. We do not see any just yet. Stim hasn't even started. But how is Dayshi going to stop this? Even with the Raven for a potential point defense drone if need be. Nice hit here, at least against the siege tank, but still. So there we go. Raven moves in, drops the point defense drone. Doesn't help him too much here. No, actually, yes. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Well, gets a shot off there, and I guess no expansion anytime soon for Dayshi. And well, the siege tank on the low ground sieging up. I am very curious to see how he's going to stop that, because the Viking count is also, at least for now, in his favor. If he gets a shot off against the Viking over here, it just means that those siege tanks have a much higher range, thanks to the vision range, at least for now. Supply depots going down, and, well, Innovation, I mean, he is crushing them at this point. Siege tanks, Banshees are being built here. He kills the supply depots. Dayshi is even about to be supplyable. Well, not quite just yet, but that supply depot dying will definitely make him close. Nice job with that Marine, finally giving the last hit against his opponent's Viking, and that also takes the high ground vision away. But only for a short time, since the Banshee is now moving in again. And that Banshee can also take down the siege tank here. And that's exactly what he's attacking now, and this is also, of course, the cue for Dayshi to move back with it. But yeah, Innovation, he has that base already right there at the natural. He's already started mining, moving in onto the high ground with the siege tanks, and this is, Dayshi doesn't have anything. It's 15 army supply against 47. There's like not a whole lot that he can do with that. Just look at the unit counting station at the top left. 21 Marines against 5, 3 siege tanks against 1 at this point. The siege tank over here is currently surviving a little bit longer than I thought, and well, then it was finished off by the tank of Innovation, and so do the SCVs of Dayshi. The GG called. We have the tie in the series, and it has to be the ace player. I want to see 4GG. I want to see Innovation 4G against 4GG. But before we know who the last player is going to be for Team Millenium, we have a short break, and then we are back with the Acer TeamStory Cup Season 3 2014. Innovation, the last man standing, bringing us into the ace match.